Hi, so this is Guy and Paul from HWM, and we're going to be talking you around the DBS Superleggera.
So Guy, I'm working this weekend and I know you're going away. What's this thing like for real-time luggage and boot space?
Well, do you know what, this is a really interesting aspect to the car, Paul, because we describe this as a super GT. Why is it not a supercar? Because it's got supercar performance. For me, the difference is actually this will deliver supercar performance as a vehicle, but it will also be a fantastic way to travel long distance. So it's the perfect car to take you to the south of France or on a European tour of some sort. Therefore, suddenly usability becomes really important, and boot space. So we've got some leather bags here. Now, when Aston...
I can see you travel light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a few things. When Aston first launched this car, what they described boot space capacity-wise was, you know, the carry-on cases you get on an aeroplane.
I do, yeah.
So you can fit 4 of those on their side. So that's a good indicator. But equally, we've got this lovely Aston luggage. So with this luggage, you can actually order it in matching colours to your cabin. So for example, if you had a dark metallic red leather, again, you could have dark metallic red leather on your luggage, and even the stitching could match. So it's just beautiful stuff.
Very, very good. And just a further nod to the tremendous amount of personalisation that you can get with this car, not just with the car itself, but with the accessory.
For sure. So that luggage goes in fine. That's pretty easy. You've got little cubby holes either side, and you could still probably quite comfortably put some jackets or some further soft luggage on top of this. So that, for a week's tour, that looks pretty good to me, although everybody's got different needs, understood. But you've then got an overspill behind the front seat. So a lot of people use that for storing soft luggage too. So actually, when you combine this boot space with the behind the rear seats area, you can carry a lot on a decent tour.
It's only got a lot of room.
I think the final thing to mention on the rear for me is, I like what they've done with the charge points now. To put this car on charge when you put it to sleep, it's a magnetic attachment, clips to the boot there, shut the boot, and you can just leave it alone and it will look after itself.
I agree, super straightforward, no messing around yet, just magnetic onto there, and it will look after the condition of the battery.
Fantastic. So there we go. So in summary, an ideal car for a long tour into Europe.
So Guy, thinking about the rear cabin space, I get asked a lot, in real world, how usable is the 2+2 configuration? Perhaps you'd like to show us exactly how usable it is.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I mean, this will never be a limousine. The one thing it does have is it's the first, this and DB11 were the first cars to have rear Isofix Asset 2-door coupe.
Yeah.
So that's great. It ticks that box. But for me, the big question is, could you get a mate in the back to get them back from the pub or a restaurant for a short journey? Because you're never going to want to go down to the south of France with somebody in the back.
Yeah, it's a super burning question, and one I've wanted to ask for some time.
Great. Well, you'll be pleased to know I've done my dynamic stretches. So we'll see if we can get me in. We probably can't get me out, but let's give it a go.
Very good.
Now, first thing I've done is I've moved the front seat forward so that, frankly, me as an adult, I'm just under 6 foot. My knees aren't touching the dashboard in this position, but I'm pretty close. So this is always going to be a bit of a compromise. I'll move that forwards. That will electronically move into place to give me the best chance of getting in.
Very good.
And now let's see if we can get in. Okay, so in place. So I'm finding I've got really tight headroom. I can put a seatbelt on.
Yes.
My knees have got somewhere to be. Yeah, do you know what? I'd do 20 minutes in the back of here. Yeah, as I say, I wouldn't want to do the south of France, and I wouldn't want to get out in front of the camera. But the point is, it works. Okay, so fueling a DBS. It can run on super unleaded, but actually it can run on standard unleaded.
Yeah.
They've managed to squeeze a really decent sized tank into the car, because again, if you're doing long distance touring, you don't want to be stopping every 200 miles. So this car has got a 17-gallon tank fitted.
Phenomenal.
One touch to open the fuel filler, and there's nothing to unscrew, so it's capless, which is great. Just nice, quick, and easy.
That's really good. So, picture this: just pulled up at the petrol station forecourt, just filled it up. What's kind of real life range like?
Well, it's interesting. The one thing you've got to be careful of is everybody drives differently, and different speeds, different rates of acceleration, and so on. But it's amazing how efficient this car can be, because of one, yes, it's a V12 engine, a 5.2 litre V12, but it's got cylinder deactivation, so on light throttle loads, it shuts down one bank. Brilliant. So that can be enormously efficient. 8-speed gearbox means that it's got, in the higher gears, really high gearing, so the engine's not revving very hard, it's doing very little work.
It's almost a gear for every job.
Yeah, for sure. And therefore, I mean, if you drive it carefully, you can get some unbelievable fuel consumption figures out of it at a constant cruise. But you'll probably tickle 400 miles for the average driver, making sort of decent pace cross distance, which is good going.
It is. And what a way to cover 400 miles.
Yeah. Okay, Paul, so that's great. That's a real insight into the usability of DBS Superleggera, because yes, it's an immensely fast and engaging car, but actually, you know what? You could use it every day, couldn't you? It wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
So there we go. DBS Superleggera.